Okay, fine. So let's look into the like a basic command line fundamentals. Yes. I will show you even how to bypass the Windows login screen also in a today's class. Okay. So we don't have a big difference between like a Linux and the Windows command line interface. In a Windows we have a CMD. So CM hackers they prefer to export the commands in a command prompt. The Windows or PowerShell. So PowerShell is like going to be allowed to run the Linux commands and Windows commands both, okay? But CMD only allow us to run the only Windows oriented commands. So just like a Linux, like you can just use the like a wami command to check your identity. You can identify your host name. So wami host name. So those are common commands. And you can use the command like dir in the place of like ALS. You can use the dir. Linux also support the dir command. In the Linux systems also we have a dir command. So dir command display the same. So dir command display the like a list of the files. It is the equivalent to the like a ls space hyphen l. You know like ls will display the only folders, but ls space hyphen will display the folders with their permissions and everything. Am I right? That structural details you will get when you type the dir. So dir has a like options like so you can use a dir okay forward slash a. It is a ls space hyphen la. ls space hyphen la. So listing format with including hidden files and hidden folders. Okay. So now dir forward slash a will display the hidden files and folders with their proper path. Okay. So dir forward slash b equivalent to the ls. Only ls. What ls will display? ls will display like this folder names, am I right? File names, am I right? Just like that. So b. So C is like a so equivalent to the ls space hyphen l. So we have like a D only folder names. So dir command okay we use in the place of ls command. So dir command support in the Linux also. You can see your directory, you can see your files. Now cd command you can use change directory. Just like a Linux, Windows also same. You can change your directory to the other folder. cd change directory. So cd double dot parent directory, just like a Linux. cd double dot parent directory. Okay. So cd like a so just you can move to the like a specific directory. In a Linux we have a forward slash in a file path. In a Windows we have a backward slash in a file path. Okay, you can see the like a path is in a backward slash. So if you want to mention the path, backward slash. Is that clear? Same command mkdir works. So there is no difference. mkdir works. rmdir works. So you can just like mention like which folder you want to remove. rmdir. So we have like a concept like but it don't allow the like a wildcard. So in a Linux we can mention the star to do everything. So H star means everything starting with H. But Windows don't accept. So you can just like use a mkdir rmdir. Okay, so removing the directories. And you can if we have like a command output, we can redirect the command output to the file server. So if you remember, like we use like for example, echo allow. So your allow is a printing, but this one you can redirect to the file allow.txt. So by using that same thing work in Windows also. So cat doesn't work. Cat is not available. Cat is invalid. ls command is invalid. Tail command is invalid. Okay. So we have head command is invalid, but more command is valid. So you can use like a more command in a Windows also. More command. So most of the people use the type command to read the files. In the place of cat, they use the type command. More command is a common for Windows and Linux, but type command you can use in the place of. So you can read the file what we have. Okay. So you can just like if you use like a two symbols greater than symbols, it will append the content. You already know that. So it will append the additional data. That redirection process is applicable to the Windows machine also. You can run any command, that command output you can store inside of it. Now I'm running like a command system info. I'm storing that command output into the file. Now system command is executed, that command output is exported into the file. Now I'm running like a IP config, IP address I'm trying to check, config, and I'm appending that information to the sys.txt. Now you can see that like a sys.txt has all the details. See this two commands output. This is the system info command output, and after that we have an IP address related command output. Windows IP configuration. So that redirection is possible in a Windows machines and Linux machines in a command. So if you want to delete the file, you can see the a list of the files, and if you want to delete the file, so we use like RMM, right, in a Linux. So you can use the DEL. So you can just mention the DEL space, that file name. So it is going to be delete that file. Guys are able to follow me. Now so do you want to copy the files? You can copy. So now I have a file. Now I want to copy. So copy full word. CP in a Linux. Copy the full word in a Windows. So you have to mention the source path and destination. So now I'm just moving to the same folder, near folder, copy. Or I'm copying to the download folder. So sys.txt. Okay, so now source path. So you have to mention C / users / hacker, that username, okay, / now that guy a downloads folder. Now it is copied to the downloads. Is it clear? Huh? So you can copy that. In the same way, you can move to the some other folder. So now I have a file in my desktop. Sys.txt. I want to move MV in a Linux, move in a complete. So move. So now source path. Now your destination path. Okay. So now I want so move this one to a C folder. Now it is moved. Access is delete. Our terminal in a user mode, not in administrator mode. So we have a standard user and administrator user for the Linux. User and root user. Just like that in a Windows also we have a user and administrator user. If your user account is part of administrator group, if you launch your command prompt and run as administrator, then only can do the administrator level operations. You can do the things in a few directories. So this C drive don't directly allow you to copy the file. But if you are administrator, you can do. Now it is permitted, not permitted. So you can just move to the users. Now I want move to the users and hacker and documents folder. Now it's moved successfully. So you can see that we don't have a file in our list. So same operations, just a small change in a command. Syntax is same. Clear everyone? Yeah? So you can just deal with a file operations for. Okay, so file system I try to explain. Okay. What about users? Users management. In a Linux system, what we do? If you want to know the clear in a Linux, CLS in a Windows. So you need administrator mode if you want to deal with users, because like how we have a sudo level privileges in a Linux system, same way you need administrator level privilege. Now if you open that, like so you can just like in a Linux, like if you want to know the user list, what are the users we have, where you will check, you will just check in a like etc passwd file, am I right? Cat /etc /passwd. That command equivalent is a net user. When you type the command net user, it will display the list of the users we have. Now, if you want like us to know the groups, you use like a cat /etc groups, am I right? Same way, we have net local group. You can identify all the groups we have. So net local group. So you will get the list of the groups available. Net user display the users list. Net local group display the list of the groups we have. Okay. Now, if you remember, if I want to know the like the people who are under administrator group, what I did, I used like a grep space, sudo space inside of the etc path group file, am I right? Just like that. Now let space local group space administrators. So if you provide that group name, so that group who are in that group, you can see them. Let space local group space administrators. You can see that who are in that administrator group. Now our user, administrator, and hacker both have administrator level privileges. We can identify the privileged users. We can identify the privileged users. Guys are able to follow me. Okay, if you want to add the user, what we did in the Linux, like a sudo space, like a add user space, demo user, username, space /add, am I right? Just like we did a sudo add user, demo user. That's it. Now same way we have a net user space. Which user you want to add? Now I want to add the demo user, /add. It is added, successful. Now if you want to delete, in the place of add user, DL user we use, am I right? Same, DL, /. So do you want to change the password to the any user? Net user. We use like a passwd space username or not? Now net user space, which user password you want to change, and after that directly you can type their password. Now 12345 is the password to this account right now. Directly updated. You don't need a current password, or you can give the star also. You can just like set the invisible password. It is not going to be revealed in a command. Clear everyone? For example, you want to create the user. You want to add that guy to the administrator group. Okay. So you have to use net local group. If you remember, like we did the same thing. Sudo add user, username, group name sudo. Like that, similar to the net local group administrators. So first we are accessing the group name, and we are mentioning the which user you want to add to that group. Now he is added to the administrator. If you want to remove this guy from the administrator group, you can remove, delete. If you want to delete the user completely, you can delete the user completely. Is it a clear all? So I shared like a commands to you, like so in a yesterday class you can see all of this. So all those are like already mapped and like a reference for you. So you can just like a cat command in the place of cat type command, more command work, rm, okay, replace with a dl. So copy cp mv move. So union space hyphen u you use in a Linux system to know the system information. Now system info. IP space A we use or IF config we use in a Linux. Now IP config /all in a Windows. Ping command we use in a Linux.
So the
Ping
page
ping command is unlimited in a Linux. In a Windows only 4 attempts. 4 requests, 4 responses. It will close that window. So if you want continuous attempts just like a Linux, /C you need to add. And trace route we have for the Linux, trace RT we have for Windows. So NS lookup, name server lookup, DNS server lookup information, okay, same in both operating systems. ARP command is both are same. Nested commands are same. Okay, network connections. And top is a command we use for to see the list of the applications running. Task list is in the Windows. Okay. So those are basic things. So I just share a important a users management related, groups management related commands. Okay, so I try to explain the scenario. You already know that process. Clear? So when you know how to handle with the command line interface, you can just if you get the command line before login screen, so you can bypass that system login screen or not. You can simply can do that. So that's why so simply you need to enable the capabilities to get the command line interface before login screen. So when you observe that in a Windows machines so before login what we have, the login screen what we have. So whenever you just observe your login screen, log screen. So in a log screen you can find a few applications before login screen. There is one application name is called accessibility. So that accessibility has a narrator, magnifier, on-screen keyboard. All those programs you can launch before login. Before login screen, you can launch those programs. Okay. So your Windows system strictly call the file name. It don't verify the integrity of the code. For example, now I want to open the on-screen keyboard. It will call the on-screen keyboard related executable file, osk.exe. It don't see the code. If that code is the original or something else, it don't verify, directly execute that code. So that logic we can bypass. So what we are going to be do, we are going to be try to get into the before login screen, we will try to get into the recovery mode. In that recovery mode, we can get the control to modify the files and file names. Now, first, what we need to do, we have a C. So we have a C, Windows, System 32 directory. We have all executable files. What are the files? cmd.exe file we have, on-screen keyboard.exe file we have, OSK. So what we do, step 1, we'll go to this path. We'll copy cmd.exe, copy, and paste it in the same place. So it will come with a new name, cmd copy .exe we have. Okay. Now let's rename osk.exe. We are trying to rename it and save as osk old.exe. So first step, consider this because it is easy to remember the flow. So osk file, rename it osk old.exe. cmd file, copy and paste it, cmd copy.exe. Now cmd copy.exe file, rename it as osk.exe. We are just jumbling the names. We are interchanging the file names. we are like a modifying the original on-screen keyboard file name to the different name. Now when you click on on-screen keyboard, it will search for the osk.exe file, am I right? In the place of that file, we are including CMD source code. CMD copy source code we have, am I right? Giving the OSK name to that. Now when you call the OSK, file name is same. But code inside of that is you have CMD code. So CMD you will get. This method work in every Windows machine. Okay. So how can you do this? First of all, you need to load your system into the recovery mode. So for that purpose, when you click on the login screen, restart button is there. Shut down and restart. So press shift control button and click on restart. So when you click on press control and click on restart, it will ask you restart anyway. Just do that. It is going to be like a restart and but load into the recovery mode.
Phone.
So we have to press the control and click on the restart. So it is going to be a restart and load into the recovery. So after the class verify, try on your system. So you can try with a shift also. Either shift or a control. Okay, any one thing will work for you to load into the recovery mode. Shift is working for me. Okay. So you will get the recovery mode like this. Troubleshoot, advanced options, command prompt. But this command prompt is not like a OS command prompt, like a recovery mode command prompt only. But with the help of this, we can do the many things. Enough things. Okay, I'll show you that. So basically, it's directly open for you. But in case if your computer enabled BitLocker encryption, BitLocker encryption is enabled, so it will ask for the password. Okay, so you can't able to bypass without knowing the current password. But BitLocker is not enabled. You don't get this kind of password prompt. It directly so open the command. So it directly open the command. So once you get the command prompt, what you need to do, you need to use the GUI, you can take advantage. GUI, Notepad GUI, you can take advantage. So when you click on Notepad, you will get like this. So in a file open option, we have control. So you can see the Linux Windows Server file system. You can get this PC, all drives and everything directly from this place. So now you can figure out which drive you have all your OS files. Now it shows files of type, all types, all files. You can go to the Windows System 32 folder. So in that folder, so we need a OSK. See that a OSK. Rename that to the OSK old. So they are you can go back and you can can just jump in again. You can check that file name is renamed. Now after that, CMD, copy, Control V, paste, go back, up, come back, verify that CMD copy file is our. Now rename, assign the OSK name. OSK.
Tejo!
So go back, come back,
Tejo!
CMD have OSK.
Tejo!
So this is the original OSK file.
పిలుస్తుంటే వినిపిస్తలేదా
Now your modification is done.
అని అప్పటి నుంచి పిలుస్తున్నా
You can continue to work. Before login screen, if you enable the on-screen keyboard, it will enable the Windows command prompt in administrator. A normal command prompt with administrator preference. You can do whatever you want. You are administrator, so you can just like change the password or you can add a new user. On-screen keyboard is enabled. Now, so you got the like administrator level. I can just see the list of the users. You can change the user password. Now I'm updating to the 123. Now 123. 123. So if you want to add that new user, you can add that user. You can add that user to the administrator privileges, and you can just log in with that new user also. That's my point. You can do whatever you want. Now, if you want to remove the backdoor, what you need to do? Same. Go to the recovery mode. Same process. Delete the OSK file. Rename the OSK world to the OS. That's my point. Ardhamainda process. So it's a very simple process. We can change anyone's like a Windows user's password if you have a physical access. It takes less than 5 minutes to. Got it? Fine. So you need to do the practice. First of all, you need to understand the like a command line interface, because whatever commands you run in a Windows, those commands are like doing actions. So in a last class we discussed about like we discussed about event, log, incident kind of things. Am I right? So every command create the one event. It is action. Am I right? It will generate the log or not. So sequence of actions like leads to the incidents. Set of actions leads to the incident. Okay. So first of all, understand the like Windows command prompt uses properly. Clear everyone? So important commands you should learn. You should comfortable with that. Then whatever actions you do, everything recorded in the name of like an event. So that thing we can collect. Clear everyone? Done? So can you do the like a Windows commands practice today? You have a notes, recap all the commands. So just like go through the different possibilities. Whatever actions you do in your system, everything is already recorded. That log is already collected by your Splunk. Splunk is already running in a memory in a backend. It is going to be collect your logs. So now tomorrow I will show you how to improve your Splunk log collection mechanism. Okay, and how to like collect the even malware code execution related things, malicious PowerShell script execution related things, logs. How can you collect from your Windows system? So we'll discuss that. So first of all, like explore how to use a Windows command line interface. Clear? So this week, like only two things I will cover. One is a SIM tool. Another one is how to deal with a Windows operating system, Linux operating system, where we have a logs in those two operating systems, how they are going to be helpful to you for your investigations. Clear everyone? Fine. So thank you all. Spend some time today. Do the practice. Understand the fundamentals. Okay. Basic like a foundation in a Windows command line interface. Okay, so what about PowerShell? PowerShell is like a cross-platform supported commands we have. So now if you use a PowerShell, so PowerShell like allow you to run the Linux commands also. Now previously ls command didn't work on command prompt, but PowerShell. So ls command is going to be work for you. Just a minute, sorry. Okay, so cat command also going to be work for us. For example, now, so I'm just like using CD desktop. Now, so echo. So what I recommended you, so use a type command, am I right, to read the file? You can use a cat also direct. So Linux commands works in a PowerShell. Not every Linux command, but most popular Linux commands you users use for their operations compatible in a PowerShell. So due to that, hackers love to use the PowerShell. Always hackers love to write the code in a PowerShell point of view. So for fileless malware attacks, they prefer to use the PowerShell code execution capabilities. So PowerShell will give the more administrative controls and more scripting capabilities we have to control the Windows operating system. So that's why hackers, cyber criminals, they use PowerShell to trigger the malicious code. Okay. So in a tomorrow class, I will show you how to analyze, how to extract the log related to the PowerShell. Okay, so Windows firewall, Windows Defender, antivirus. Okay, all those things. Okay, and get into the a Splunk. We'll resume the Splunk class again from tomorrow. So today, spend time on Windows operating system. Try to bypass your login screen yourself. Steps are very easy. So simple steps. So use the shift. After lock screen, shift. Okay, hold shift and click on restart button. It will ask you restart anyway. If you click on that, it will go to the recovery. Okay, so if it is not going to the recovery mode, maybe fast boot mode is enabled in your system. Okay, so you have to disable that. So just so go through the Windows command prompt, command line fundamentals, understand the basics. Right? Thank you all.